Creating a nice looking eye texture for the iris of a character is very important if you want a nicely detailed and polished piece of work. In this tutorial I'm going to run through a quick basic technique I use for creating an iris texture for an eye, which can be used with the eye modelling tutorial found on the download page as a separate tutorial. The technique I'm going to show is simple, and like very many things in art, there's no right or wrong way to go about doing something as intricate as this. You can add as much or little detail as necessary, but the technique I'm going to show is fairly simple, and it's designed that you can add onto it and make any tweaks you'd feel that you need to do. Okay, we're going to be using GIMP, a powerful and free image authoring program. If you haven't already got it, check out the links section and go to the home page to download it. If you've already got something like Photoshop, it does have a fair few features that Photoshop doesn't, and in my opinion manages to do a few things actually better. So let's start a new document. I'd recommend making a 512 by 12, but since we haven't got that much space to work with here, I had to widen out the capture a bit. We'll just set for 300 and 300 for the example. Okay, we're just going to create a very basic iris with just two colours, and to start off we'll use the elliptical select tool, create a circle. It doesn't really matter how where it's placed on the document, as long as it's fairly circular. So just fill it up using the fill tool with a black. Oh, I should have created a new layer there, sorry. There we go. Make sure it's a separate layer. And we're going to create the make iris for colours, so just duplicate this layer a couple of times. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave the top layer black, and we're going to change the remaining two layers to a colour for our eye. So I'm going to make a bluish eye. You won't see the colours now unless we make that visible. Oops. Hard working in such a small space. Yeah. That should be okay. And now we've got the basis for our eye, and we're going to try and create that kind of flector effect that you see in people's eyes. And this is a very I've noticed that some people's eyes are very almost flat coloured, or they don't essentially have any flecks in them. It's more of a kind of golden sheen to it. So with some people sometimes they might have up to maybe 4 colours mixed in with the pigmentation of their eye. It's very interesting. Anyway, I won't talk any more about that. I'll just show you how to do this. Now once we've got our duplicated layers ready, we're going to add a layer mask to the filled layers, which will help us add the kind of random flecked effect. So select the black of the eye. This isn't the pupil, it's just to add another kind of dimension or distortion to our image. Once you've got that selected, go to better add layer mask, sorry. So to add a layer mask, which works like a stencil tool in Blender, go right click, add layer mask, and pardon me, full opacity, white opacity, so add layer mask, and we'll do it for each one of those. And make sure you've got the layer mask selected, and we'll go to filters, and go to render, clouds, and it's a bit far along, maybe I'll just move that so you can see it a bit easier. Render clouds, plasma, and that's quite a nice balance of white on black, but if you prefer something different, go for it. It's not really any set way to do it. And as you can see, it's turned the opacity map, the mask has given it a level of opacity. And to pinch that, we're going to use another filter by going to filter, distort, and it's too far below, but I can show you it's there. It's whirl and pinch. We're not going to need any whirl at all, so that's set at 0. And these settings are okay for creating something like an iris. You just want a really high pinch amount and a medium amount of radius to pinch up the map, and you can see I might want to do that again actually. Then we'll go to blur it to make it a bit more natural. Sort of 5 to 10's okay. Then we'll maybe go to pinch that a bit again. that's okay, I guess. Now that all there is to it really is to repeat these steps on the rest of the layers. So just go to the, make sure you've got the mask selected, and go to render, clouds, plasma, and mess about with the settings. And finally on the last one, and then do the pinch and whirl again, but without the whirl, of course. You might want to add another colour at the back, because if you actually add a mask to all of them, you're going to get a white, a bit of opacity coming through, which you probably don't want at all. And add a bit of blurring to that. See, we're not really affecting the colours, but it's just filters mainly. And let's add another, oops, just another blue to the back there. So, and that's okay. We could flatten it out, flatten the image, and do some more adjustments. But that's pretty much all the basics that I use for when I start making iris. There's another one I did using the same technique in green, which you can see they're fairly similar. And that's all there is to it really. You can add a lot more to build. There's a lot more to build on here, and I hope this tutorial gave you a good starting point for eye texturing. If you get stuck at all, look in a mirror or do some image search on maybe Google or something for some references. Thanks for watching.